Alright, so Syberia OS. Now, this particular ROM specifically for the K20 Pro has been really amazing with Android 11, and we were getting to Android 12. A lot of ROMs were moving to Android 12, and a lot of you were asking me, where is Android 12 Syberia? Now, it's been a while since Syberia has been out in the Android 12 flavor, but trust me, now is the time when this particular ROM is showing its true colors. What I mean by that is performance. I did throw a teaser screenshot of Antutu yesterday on the channel. You all saw that, you all got excited, and today is the time to review this wonderful ROM. Now, the reason I say this wonderful ROM is because this is tested twice. Once by Pratik, who is my elite tester and who reviewed it for me, and then I installed it yesterday and I left it alone. I played around with it. I did a bunch of things, including benchmarks and all sorts of things, and this is amazing. This is something you should consider using as a daily driver. So before we get into the details, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon, because it doesn't cost you anything and it really motivates us to make amazing content like this. If you think you like chatting with like-minded people, well, join us on Telegram. We have more than 1,500 people over there. We are present on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Now, without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Right, now this is a build that is not released. This is a RC6, which means release candidate 6. After this, there's going to be one more build by Barney, right? Barney Nato is the username of the developer who is actually developing Syberia for the Redmi K20 Pro. He's done a ton of things. A beautiful amount of optimization is what he has done. Now, the moment you boot into this ROM, as always, Syberia OS boots without any bloatware at all. Matter of fact, even the camera application that you get is very subtle, very basic. It doesn't give you any advanced options, so you can go ahead and give it a try, and you can maybe install Gcam or something like that. Apart from this, to the left you have Google Feed. Now remember, this is a device which is 60 Hz, and see how smooth the Google Feed is. This is one of the smoothest experiences that I've had on Android 12 on this particular device as far as Google Feed is concerned. And the moment you go to the home screen, the transition is very smooth, very cohesive, and that makes me feel really nice about this particular ROM. Because remember, now the K20 Pro has a ton of ROM options. This device is more than 2 years old. Xiaomi has stopped supporting it. So at such a time, with the latest Android version, to get a ROM that is daily drivable and gives you way better performance than stock ROM is really amazing, and that's why I'm praising this ROM so much. Now, if you swipe from the top to bottom, you will have your standard Android 12 quick tiles and all these Wi-Fi calling, Wi-Fi indication, voice over LTE, battery percentage, and all those things. You do get a built-in screen recorder which can record internal and external audio, right? So there you go. All right, it's recording now, and as you can see, even in the recording mode, there is no stutter, no jitter whatsoever, which means you can not only play games really well, you can actually go ahead and record your gameplay and share it. So let's go ahead and stop this over here. We will check how good the audio quality is. Let's increase the volume a bit. Alright, it's recording now, and as you can see, even in the recording mode, the audio is crisp, the video is smooth as butter, and this is doing a great job. I'm really impressed with this. Now, you do have a bunch of other tiles available, including your privacy tiles over here. You have data saver, dark theme, you have anti-flicker. Now, that is something really interesting. Not a lot of devices have that feature, especially for us YouTubers. Anti-flicker really makes a lot of difference. So let's go ahead and okay. Apart from this, you have reboot, caffeine, CPU info, and always on display off. So those are the options you get there. And when you pull this quick tiles down, you see the bouncy smooth animation. It's really neat, and you have these curves over here which were introduced some time back, and they're working absolutely fine. So no problem whatsoever. Now moving on, if you press and hold on the home screen, you have home settings, widgets, and wallpapers, and you see how this theming is going with monitor. It is going really well. So if you go to home settings, you do have launcher, Android 12 launcher, or launcher version 12 launcher, whatever you want to call it. You do have a ton of options over here. Like under general, you have home screen rotation, notification dots, icon pack, themed icons, icon shape. Font is experimental, but I think it works absolutely fine. Let's see here. There you go. So yeah, the font settings is working fine, but we would want to go back to the regular one. Anyways, moving on, you have theme, that is a system theme, accent color. So if your monitor is not working well with the launcher, you can choose an accent color as per your choice. Auto adaptive icons, let's select this over here, and then we will enable themed icons and see what happens if that is meant for that. Now under home screen, you do have a ton of customization, as you can see over here. Now moving on, you have dock customization, you do have the app drawer customization, wherein you can go ahead and hide applications as well. So that is something really neat. You do have customization options for your folder, and then you can make changes to your recents, like clear button at the bottom, custom screen corner radius, you can go ahead and change that as well. And if you go to about, this is the launcher. Now moving on, you have widgets, your standard Android 12 widgets, which are working absolutely fine, no problem whatsoever. And then you have wallpapers, which gives you access to wallpaper in style. Now unfortunately this ROM doesn't come with a lot of wallpapers, but you can go to my photos if you have any wallpapers saved over there, and you can save a wallpaper and set a wallpaper of your choice. Right now, these are the options and things that you see on the home screen, along with a Google pill at the bottom. Now let's dive into settings over here. As you can see over here, you have a very standard Android 12 affair going on over here. You have network and internet connected devices, apps, notifications, battery. So you have network and internet connected devices, apps, notifications, battery, storage, and the important part, Syberia settings. Now, let me tell you this ROM doesn't have thermal profiles. It doesn't have the 180 Hz touch sampling rate. It doesn't have the Android 12 game mode. So all these features are missing, but still this ROM is amazing because the performance is great. So if you go to Syberia settings, you have system over here, in which you have general tweaks for USB configuration. You have buttons over here to enable the advanced power menu, playback control, volume rocker wake, volume key, cursor control. And then you have notifications, under which you have battery charging light, show new notification, and then you have dialer customization for flashlight on incoming calls. Now you do have gestures over here, which allows you to take scrolling screenshots using 3 fingers, and normal screenshots as well. That works fine. You do have UI settings, so you can override monitor over here. That's again a neat thing. And if you go to lock screen, you have a bunch of customization here, and then you have the option of about Syberia team. Right now, moving on, you have something called as wallpaper in style, which we just explored. Nothing new over here. You don't even have the option of themed icons, so that's something really weird. I really hope Barney will release it in the add this in the last release. But as far as the fingerprint is concerned, okay, let's go ahead and lock this over here. Double tap to wake. There you go. So the fingerprint scanner is working absolutely fine. I've not had any problems at all. Right now, moving on, in security, unfortunately you still don't have the option of face unlock. All right, next up, if you go to system, you will have language and input, front camera settings, where you can disable or enable the camera LED. You have gestures, which you can enable or disable. Backup, you can back up to your Google Drive or Gmail, a bunch of stuff over here. So if you look at the UI, if you look at the smoothness of this particular ROM, it is there. It is doing a great job. No problem whatsoever. The boot times are really fast. The flashing process is really simple. Now let's go ahead and talk about the important aspects of this particular ROM. One of them being safety net. So if you go to safety net over here, see, this safety net passes just fine. If you talk about DRM info, you do have Widevine L1 certification. Now let's talk about the interesting part. We have battery backup, we have charging, and then we're going to talk about the benchmark numbers, right? So let's see the idle drain first. Okay, so if you go to battery usage over here, the phone has been idle for 18 hours and 52 minutes. That's what I left this particular device on, Syberia OS. The screen has been used for 34 minutes. We are still at 87% battery. That's excellent, right? Now, if you go to Accu battery, that's where a little work is required. I will not say disappointment, because you do see over here 33 to 100%, 67% charged. It took about 2 hours. So for whatever reason, this was a 27-watt charger. And as you can see over here, 100 to 87%, it took 18 hours. That's a different thing. Now let's go ahead and quickly have a look at the benchmark numbers. Now before we do that, if you'll ask me about the battery life is pretty rock solid, as I said, and the charging times, I'm pretty sure in 1 or 2 builds that will increase, and your experience may vary. I might have had an application running or something like that, because it doesn't take more than 1 hour 30 minutes or 1 hour 45 minutes to charge from say 1% to 100%. Now let's talk about the CPU throttle test first, which we will see in the gallery over here because we have screenshots available, right? So CPU throttled to 87% of its max performance, and the average performance was 171,349 GIPS. The maximum was 189,127, right? Now let's go to antutu benchmark over here. You saw the score yesterday, right? 570,323. Now in my 2 years of owning this particular device, this has been the highest antutu score that I've seen on this particular device. And if you go to Geekbench over here, the story continues. You have 754 single core and 2772 multi-core. So these are excellent score by all means, right? Now, if you want me to show you a few more screenshots, I do have them. For example, see over here, I had kept the phone off and then it was being used. So the battery backup was pretty insane. And these are the screenshots by Pratik, who's tested this ROM for me, right? Now let's see if he has any charging screenshots. No, I don't have any charging screenshots over here. I will have them over here. So if you look at his charging statistics, 44% to 96% in 43 minutes and 20 to 43% in 14 minutes. So the charging is not broken. The charging is working well as well. And I've not had any major issues apart from one instance wherein the fingerprint icon was not showing up. I just had to reboot the device and it was doing just fine. So in my opinion, this particular build is ready to be used as a daily driver. I'm not sure if I'll be able to include a link in the description or not. I will check with the dev and I will let you know if I can include a link. The link will be there in the description, and soon you will have a final candidate of Syberia based on Android 12 for the Redmi K20 Pro. This ROM is doing a great job. You will see a gaming review on this particular build. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this video. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.